which is entirely possible as well because as two of the strongest teams in this lobby, or two of the strongest teams in the lobby, that's not far fetched at all.
We'll keep an eye on how they want to continue to play and pressure along the map. Again, pretty sure those two squads relatively safe,
I
but
would say they're 100% safe at this point. Yeah.
you're betting man. Are you
I'm
betting
a
man? They're
betting man.
100%
I
safe.
don't think Wildcard or Space Station, with the way that they've been hawking points, I just don't see it happen.
All right. While the plane is dropping, nice
There is a
little map.
world where maybe, but I'm just telling you, it's not happening today.
While the plane's dropping, any hot drops? Do you think any more hot drops here?
I mean, we didn't really expect it last time, yet here we are with, we were, I should say, with Zenith getting dropped on not only in the first map of Erangel, but also again here in Sanhok. So it's possible. I'm not going to rule it out. It doesn't look like Zenith will be going northwest again. So it looks like they went all the way east. They're just trying to get the hell away get away from us, guys. Let us
Can
leave
you
in peace.
imagine that mentality right now being hot dropped
Do you
twice?
imagine if they got hot
the
dropped
final
again,
day?
though? That would be just truly unfortunate.
So no hot drops. Just want to make sure we check everything. Yeah, no hot drops here. Everyone relatively safe. Let's take a look at it. Oh no, it's another far west circle, and
This one should be going south, though. I mean, should. I say should, but that doesn't mean it will.
yeah, Zenith got a little way to travel. Low key again, just not getting lucky with the circle. Has to rotate on in from that northern area. Noble has to do the same thing, but they got lucky and successful swimming across to the northwestern island. We'll see how this shakes things up for these squads.
Yeah, and this is. I mean, we don't really see too many circles in the south, or specifically like the southwest island. So I know that the terrain on the southwest, there's a lot more like kind of hills and mountains that you can play off of. Like, not as many like big, kind of big structures or mountainous regions, like for instance what we're looking at right now around Paradise and Noble. So it's gonna be a very scrappy finish, that's for sure.
Man, there was just so much that happened in that last game. I'm still just buzzing about it, thinking about it with that
I
explosive
was just
start
still
with
thinking about
Supernova,
Hetroid.
Zenith being held up by Oxy, then low-key rotating on in, getting caught out by Elusive and by Noble. Noble making it all the way to that final spot. Man.
It was a journey, man. And we watched Hetroid just dismantle people
Yes.
single-handedly.
Vintage Hetror. Vintage John.
That is WTF Hetror.
Yeah.
I might add.
I was asking that question the whole time. When is he going to die?
It took a while. It took a village, man. It really did take I think a whole team to put him down. I don't really even know what happened to the rest of SSG last game because we were really focusing on Hetror, and it looked like Valiant, JSank, and Baja were just kind of off to the east, just chilling, doing their own thing, and then all of a sudden it was just Hetror. So not sure what happened, but again, as a team that's safe, as a team that's pretty much just siphoning all the points from everyone else, doesn't really matter too much for them at least, but it does for the rest of the lobby. As we see Fozu taking some shots, trying to put on some damage. Vanquish is also kind of in an interesting position because they were in the top 6 and now they've seen themselves fall today for the most part.
Yeah, Vanquish has been pretty quiet. Vanquish and Zenith, those were the two squads that were sitting pretty along with God Squad, and God Squad said, we're not just trying to sit pretty, we're trying to get a little dirty. They're able to jump on up and pass their compadres in this relegation battle. We've seen a couple of slow games here as Lobes taking some shots towards Duck, and Duck, your survival leader, not going to survive this one yet again. And it's Duck for dinner in this map number 4. And I was going to say, we've seen a lot of active games out of Miramar and sometimes slow games out of Sanhok because teams are kind of know where they're at now, where
Right.
everyone else is dropping, and everyone's just kind of waiting for that first domino to fall. I think this game is starting to turn out like this one so far, just with the way everyone has dropped.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of because Sanhok is also so small, and the fact that these teams know where the other teams generally drop, they do their best to kind of avoid them and not get thrown into that early game tussle so that they don't get wiped, not only wipe first, but just take casualties early on. That was kind of a neat angle.
Yeah, I love it when my February month just says 2. That's what that calendar said. It just said 2.
2.
Month 2. This is the second time we're on Sandhawk. That's 2.
I see what you're going for there with that.
Yeah. We've got 2 minutes and 8 seconds
Halo
for a
Climb,
phase.
it does look like Halo Climb.
Go.
You're out of control. You're out of control, dude.
I'm out of control. I'm taking a timeout. Go, Halo Climb.
No, I was just saying Halo Clan is also kind of set up around VQ as well. A lot of the teams, including God Squad, have kind of basically found their spot. So again, this will be, looks like one of those slow burn Sanhok games where people are just inevitably waiting for the shifts to happen on the circles. And Zenith taking, okay, so this, I think this is kind of a result, as I detract from the last point I was trying to make, where, wait. Oh, he's getting on the little aqua rail. Okay. Little baby aqua rail. I think, yeah, they're just kind of, it looks like they're almost traumatized from the last couple games where they've been hot dropped, that they're just trying to avoid people completely. They're not even bothering to, looks like scout ahead, potentially see what's going on the south side of the circle, check if the bridge on Camp Charlie is clear. And I kind of get that, but in a sense, they're really hurting their rotation here, because not only are teams set up on the west and waiting on the coast, to see what the circle does, but they're going to be coming into it very late. They're going to be coming into it from the blue, which means that they're going to be using meds, and they're going to have to stop to heal. And so this is kind of like, I don't want to say a scared play, but it just seems like they're playing a little too safe.
Yeah, a PTSD of 2 hot drops after being in promotion position and now possibly dropping out of the NPL. Like, you can kind of understand why that kind of thought process comes to mind, but at the same time, it might not lead to the same types of victories that they would have had if they would have just been able to reset and play normally. And we'll keep an eye on the long rotations of Zenith, as this southwestern island is getting very crowded, and we've been watching Supernova and God Squad jostle for position for a little while here.
Yeah, and Supernova is another interesting team to talk about, because they started off fairly strong, I think, especially in that first military base game on Erangel yesterday. And they've been really scrappy. Like, they've been getting in fights, and they've been getting a lot of knocks, but unfortunately for them, they haven't really been able to finish a lot of those, and so they find themselves doing a good amount of damage, but not really being able to kind of finish their plate and get the kills they need, especially with the position. So they're kind of very much so sitting on the chopping block of whether or not they're even going to have enough points to gain to qualify.
Yeah, 7 kills for Supernova in that last game, 0 position points. So guns waking up, and if there's a team that can make a run, Supernova is a team that we know that can do that.
I mean,
they did do that.
We saw them do it before, absolutely.
So we'll, again, just waiting for this first domino to fall, and in this case, it's Barry vibes for Elusive. Soko just able to shoot down those sights. As you said, a very difficult thing to do on an M4. He does have the 4 grip, but
yeah, it does look like you have a grip. It's only difficult if it's completely naked. Like, you have no grip, you have no tack stock, you have no sight. I mean, it becomes kind of annoying to shoot with. Obviously, these players are going to be sitting and practicing in training mode. Ooh, nice shots coming out of it's like Cold G going for another knock. Can't quite find it. He does get Hades though.
Hades, damage dealer there for Obey Alliance. He's your guy that's been leading the squad. He's going to try to nade it up and finish it off, but Soko trying to get him. All the while, Zenith finally showed up and said, hey, look, we're not the belle of the ball. We'll just come on in through the back door. And that seems to be the play there. Kolji able to get Theris. So Kolji having himself a nice little play, and Filthy says, stop that. You stop that right now, and you burn.
He's going to go for the revive here on Hades. And Obey Alliance is one of the teams that's kind of on the cusp. They're very close to pushing themselves into the top 6. So they want to make sure they recover here and they don't go down to a team like Elusive, who is a team that kind of is at that point where they have nothing to lose almost.
Yeah, they're 10 points off the lead, and one of their knocks there, Kolji, just gets stolen away. And now Kendo knocking Filthy yet again. So Hades up, fully healed. Walt Jr. has a couple guys in his sights, and he's going to trek on forward. Zenith need these points as well. This is a big position battle here halfway through the
I love the aggression.
tournament.
Love the aggression coming out from Walt Jr. here. They absolutely need these points. Roth going to finish off Filthy, but Walt Jr. going to get taken down by Hades and flushed. Now it's just Hades. Soko kind of off in the distance, not able to really support. Hades is really in the thick of it here.
Yeah, that was a nade right onto Hades. He was able to get his Apatoko with the nice flank. It is a 1v1. Here we go. He runs right into Kendo. Kendo with the lean, able to pick up the kill.
He just came out so aggressively, and Kendo was just already ready for it. So that is going to be Obey Alliance in a very disappointing finish. I'm sure they're not happy with that. Meanwhile, Zenith able to kind of recover with at least 2 players.
JLD could get all 3 points. Holy moly, this is going to be huge for Elusive. It's perfect!
Oh, and there
what
it
a
is!
nade! Elusive and nades. Name a more iconic duo here. Huge here for Elusive, and just a little boon for this squad.
I was just about to say, finally Zenith, finding their footing in a fight, able to at least trade 4 for 1, or 3 for 1, but man, Elusive absolutely had no qualms coming in after the fact and just literally deleting them out of the server.
Holy moly. Zenith is that character in the movie or on the show where they make you feel a little good about it and then put him right in the dumpster. And there is the opportunity to make you feel
like
good.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yes.
He almost wins, but then everything backfires.
That was
good old Acme.
Zenith needs to change their logo from a dragon to a coyote. To Wile E. Coyote. That's a yuck. Oh boy. Tough break there. Nice patience by Jay all day to get away.
Yeah, he was there for a while, and he heard all the fighting, and instead of kind of poking out, he really took his time.
Oh, no.
Hetro with speaking of grenades, man, beautiful nade coming out from Hetro downtown. A Kobe, if you will.
He borrowed the Baja bounce there, and Low-key just cannot catch a break, and they're running out of breaks and catches, and it's not looking good for Low-key.
No, it's really not, and I really hate talking about them like this because I don't think they should be a team that's on the bottom, but ultimately their performance has kind of been speaking for itself. So,
well, we'll keep an eye on how those final 2 members. They do have Lobes up, who has been top fragging for them throughout the tournament and throughout the season, and maybe they can get some going as they just happen to run into the buzzsaw that was Space Station Gaming. Space Station nades.
A team like 303 here, they're in the middle of 4 teams.
That's a lot of points for the trees to pick up.
But this is a team that can very, very effectively kind of utilize the points that are around them. If they can get some kills here and survive again to the end game, 303 can definitely push themselves to that threshold of the top 6. It is not impossible for them at all.
All right, well, Noble, we've seen them travel long distance before to find success. Onward they go, with Victor leading the way along with Honey Badger and Fudge. They must have lost a teammate along the way. I think they got into a small kerfuffle with Low-key and then ran away once they saw
what happened
Space
to Low-key
Station
at the hands of
too. Yeah.
Space Station, yeah. And so they're going to take another wide rotate. Again, I won't judge, just speaking on how they did last time coming to the circle and chasing it a little late. But again, you never want to kind of be in this position, especially when they're stuck on this bridge. And this time there are teams that are somewhat positioned around that bridge that they can kind of punish them coming in. So Noble needs to be very careful here that Oxy doesn't start really looking in their direction to the west. Otherwise, they're going to be in a whole heap of trouble. Granted, they can vault off. They can go to the west, wrap all the way around that side of the circle. They will break LOS with what looks like what Oxy is working with. But even still, just losing a player would be pretty devastating for them at this point, because that west side, they're going to need as many players up as they can muster in order to fight there, especially with wildcard.
Yeah, circle pops, and we saw those tracers. The circle now rotating just into the center. So 303 is still good. Good news for 303, smack dab in the center. Bad news for 303,
smack dab in the
center. Was shooting at them, and they're still smack dab in the center of 1, 2, 3, 4 squads.
What I will say for 303 here, what may work in their favor is the fact that no other team should technically be able to get to them, right? Their compass is completely covered, north, south, east, and west, by different teams. So unless all of those teams kind of decide to converge all at once, which I really don't see happening, 303 is actually safe right now. They have cover all around it. It's almost like they hired these teams to make sure that they're just safe in the center.
I see. It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's everyone around 303 right now. As
yeah, that's actually really wild. I've never seen it happen quite like that, where it's like a perfect north, south, east, west split, and they're just smack dab in the center. And they're not in a compound either. They're just kind of there.
They're standing still. They're camouflaging in. Their logo
Right.
and the trees on Sandhawk. The same thing as Wildcard gonna send it right here. This
Oh,
is
God.
full
So
on
I said-
Lazarus, and they go right on through it. Don't get punished.
Yeah, I said
what a play.
they shouldn't be able to get. I mean, it looks like they are stopping early, but Wildcard now
Uh-oh.
also second
Smoking.
in the center here. And this is actually great for 303. This is going to shift any focus off of them. In fact, them being in kind of that dip, that little ravine there area, they might get just piled on with nades.
Every game, you're always wondering who's going to have the first invite to the big fiesta, the block party that's going to happen. In this case, Wildcard says, we don't need your invite. We're coming right on in. And it almost started things off, but now it's just little picks
Yeah.
and pokes there.
And
Everyone's just
303
taking the hand food.
Nice shots coming out from Tetra. But 303 again, they're ready. Even though they have a compound, they weren't really playing in it. They were sitting very much on the outside, checking things around them. Space Station, a team that is on the outside right now with no compound at all to play, seem to be moving up on the north, slowly encroaching on Halo Klein's position.
Yeah, all the while, 303 got knocked. So someone got knocked by, I believe it was Wildcard. And so 303 sitting in the middle, now the focus of at least one of those 4 squads surrounding them. But this is a tiny circle with a lot of people in it. Just a heads up, we're going to do our best to cover all the action. But
Yeah, this is gonna get. This is one of those circles where I suspect 20 people will die in the matter of, I don't know, less than 30 seconds. I mean, this, as soon as this shifts, it's gonna cut out. Yeah, it's gonna cut out a lot of people.
Yep. Now 303 are on the outside with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squads near them. As a VSS kill, Danny G going the quiet way, taking one away. Actually stole the knock that Jason picked up on Innate. Shoutouts Wolf, VSS. There it is. 13 teams up, 48 alive, and that will not be lasting for much longer as the trees have finally gone on the offensive, and a knock and a kill onto Tetra. Dusty getting 303 on the board. Halo Klein holding this compound, keeping Space Station away. Now Soapy now coming this way as well.
Yeah, sorry, I was all over your grill there, but
No, I
this
love it when
for
you're all
me
over my grill.
is
Go.
Smoke and Ace's last chance. If they lose this fight and they go out early here, I think their hopes of potentially getting into striking distance within the top 6 will be gone, and we've already lost, it looks like, 2 members of Smoke and Aces. If they can't do it here, I think that's it for their run.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Cloudtail, who's been leading the way for them, down. A big nade coming on in. It's actually David accidentally nading the rest of his team. Hetro trying to get a headshot there, not quite able to. Mime, first time we've seen him on the scoreboard, popping one onto David. Greg shot, able to take out Oxy, and Oxy goes out in 13th place.
Lobes
as
as well.
Aguila actually gets
Pax.
killed by David as well. Low-key and Pax just go out to the blue. Mime getting taken out by Lampalot. Is this 20 people, 30 seconds? Someone start that timer. Hetro able to pick one off. Bozu picking up the points onto David. Monty going out to the blue. Smoking Ace is eliminated in 11th. Lampalot trying to get himself into the blue. He's going on a full-on sprint. Zigging, zagging. He's still alive. Not anymore. Dusty picks up those points as well. Zodiac still going. Now onto Comets on the northwestern front, as well as 303. You're seeing Hetro here pushing up against Wildcard. The Titans might be going back and forth. D-Rich showing up big there, and the Comets getting stunted by the trees here. D-Rich with the hop throw. Might be able to get it onto Disciple, and Comets getting eliminated now. 303 with a couple members up. Halo Klein trying to go up against Space Station Gaming. Space Station take out Halo Klein. Only one member still left up. It's Zodiac, and Zodiac will get a bit more aggressive. Pistola time comes up from behind, and Wildcard says, thank you very much. I'll take those points. I think we can take a break. You were correct.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty impressive. You went ham there for a second there, and yeah, that's just what happens in circles like this. When everyone is set up, everyone is ready to kind of weather the storm, but then when the storm comes, it's like the floodgates open and it's just too much at once. And that's why we see all of these teams losing so many players, just getting wiped out completely, as Wildcard now find themselves in another fight here with Space Station Gaming coming around the rock. It is going to be J-Sank. He's going to get the knock on Pistola, and now Wildcard finds themselves in trouble.
Yep, Space Station
And a
cleaning
lot
this
of
one
trouble.
up. It's a lot of trouble. Just 2 members up. It is Penta. It is Kickstart. All those players on Wildcard are fantastic, but those are the 2 players that have been doing most of the carrying, so you still have some firepower potential for your #1 squad. But the biggest winners out of all of this have to be 303. They're the team that need the points, and they're getting them. They're still 4 strong, as well as Space Station, who've just been wrapping around and taking everything that they want, like Barbarians. And here comes Baja stepping right on up to 1. Almost getting 2 there. Supernova. Now, their light glowing very, very dimly in the form of Greg Shot. The blue is coming on in. If Greg Shot's not careful, he might get finished off. The whole Valley 8 stays away from the nade. And here's God Squad now popping off on Defina, and now things slowing down just a bit for a little bit longer.
And it's just for everyone else, it's so unfortunate because Wildcard and SSG don't need this. They literally could have gone out first and it would have made no difference. But now they're making a massive impact onto this lobby, taking away all these points. Meanwhile, 303, the team that we were talking about, is actually doing it. They're getting all of these kills. They've held their edge with only 1 player left, Dusty, coming in. If he could just survive to the top 3, that would be a massive boost and put them right under 8th place or in 8th place in order to strike at 6th.
That's right. We got a noble sighting, ladies and gentlemen. Honey Badger coming on in and picking off a couple kills. The circle now already moving on in. This is phase 8 soon. Hella's got to move. Hella's got to move. Hella's got to move. Hella, you going to be good? Hella is good. Will be able to get himself in, or get herself in, as Pentalol, the last one alive here for Wildcard. God Squad, 3 strong in the middle of the circle. They're going to play Gatekeeper to Noble, and God Squad might have themselves a chicken dinner on their hands. 4 strong. And so it's 4 against, I think, 1, 2, 3 single stragglers here with 4 teams up.
Cleaning
Holy
up.
moly.
Yeah, he's just cleaning up, but Noble's still finding themselves alive. Can he get down? No, he can't, so it's just going to be God Squad again. 4 up strong, currently in the top 6. Now just down to 2 other teams. It's going to be Dusty. Look at that, 7 kills. I said he needed to get the 3rd. He manages to get there. So this is huge. There's just 1 member of Wildcard. If Dusty can just survive, try to beat him out, if they can find Penta.
Yeah, might have an opportunity here because Pentalol is shooting, so that's distracting a lot of the members. But now Dusty has his shots against Triggs. It's just a solo. Triggs 1 away, but he gets eliminated by Spray. And Wildcard will take 2nd place here unless Pentalol pulls off one of the best plays we see
Penta's
in
pretty
MPL
nuts,
history.
man. I wouldn't put it past him, but it does look like the way that God Squad is spreading out, unless they give him 1v1s. No, Danny G with it, and God Squad takes it, but a massive